Hello everyone, to another session of UPSC Prelims 2026 360 plus high probability topics. We have already done polity and governance, economy, environment and ecology, and science and technology. We'll start with history and art and culture, where we would have 10 plus broad themes, and under that, you will have multiple topics. We'll try to cover it quickly. Proceeding forward, these are the community connects, the Telegram channel, the WhatsApp channel, email, and of course, this YouTube channel. Subscribe to it and like and share this video so that the aspirants get a feeling of fullness as well as whatever you have read till now. Can you see the matches with previous PYQ patterns? And also, it gives you a benchmark of how good your consolidation, aggregation, and revision is. Coming on to what are the major themes we are going to cover. In ancient India, we'll cover Maurya, Gupta, and Sangam Age. In medieval India, we'll cover Bhakti, Sufism, and Vijayanagara Empire. Colonial history, we'll cover key acts and movements. Then we'll cover themes like UNESCO World Heritage Site, about India in 2024 and 25, classical languages and linguistic heritage, art and forms, classical dances and music, tribal culture, craft and intangible heritage, and then numismatics, epigraphy, and archaeology. So it is a holistic combination of your evergreen topics, static, which you read, which you should know, the facts, figures, and the concepts, as well as connecting it with the things in news or current affairs, all based upon the themes of patterns of PYQ from UPSC, CSC, and CDS. Coming on to the first topic, which is our ancient India, Maurya, Gupta, and Sangam age, which are the evergreen topics. So, Mauryan Empire, it happened from 322 to 185 BC, established by Chandragupta Maurya, founded with Chanakya and Kautilya, replacing which dynasty? You should name it, and you should be able to uh, remember that which was the flow of dynasties in different time periods of India. So Nanda dynasty was replaced by the Maurya dynasty. Then we had the most famous king of Maurya dynasty, which is Ashoka from 268 to 232 BC. These dates are very important in terms of knowing what kind of events happened during what time periods. There was a Kalinga War which happened in 261 BC, which we read about a lot. Dhamma came out of after this war, where people say that Ashoka was a changed man after Kalinga War and he went on the path of Dhamma, accepted Buddhism. There are rock edicts, 14 major edicts, and 7 pillars, which were constructed by Ashoka, reflecting secular governance. Arthashastra is a book written by Kautilya, which give different aspects of statecraft, as well as economy and political economy in general. It has fourfold state components of Swami, Amatya, Janapada, and Durga. And Maurya Empire was the fourth largest empire by area in the world ever in the history. So it had a large geographical expanse, right from the areas of modern day Afghanistan, Pakistan to in the east till the Gangetic Plains, and also in the south till Deccan. So this was a vast expanse of land of this empire. Ashokan edicts, the script used is mostly Brahmi. In some areas of northwest, we have Kharoshthi script also, and all of this has been asked in PYQs. Then there was a Greek influence and Aramic influence also, the language which was used in Kandahar. The language of this age was mostly Prakrit, and it was deciphered by James Prinsep in 1837. So Ashokan edicts were deciphered by James Prinsep 1837. The languages used were Brahmi, Kharoshthi, Greek, Aramic, and Prakrit. The pillars were of single monolithic stone called Chunar sandstone was used here. So sandstone was used, and they were of single monolithic stone. Lion capital at Sarnath is being used as national emblem, which has 4 lions, but only 3 are visible from any side. Dharma chakra and 4 other animals. So you should know what are the 4 other animals on the Ashokan emblem. Then we have Gupta Empire from 320 to 550 AD or C. Chandragupta I was the founder in 320. Then we have Samudragupta, who was called the Napoleon of India because of his conquests. And there is Allahabad Prashasti regarding Samudragupta, which was written by his minister Harisena, which is very famous. Then we have Chandragupta II or Vikramaditya. The greatest extent of the Gupta Empire was under Chandragupta II or Vikramaditya. He had 9 Navratnas in his court. Also, there were 9 Navratnas in Akbar's court also. But Chandragupta II or Vikramaditya was the first king who had 9 Navratnas, which included Kalidasa, Aryabhatta, and Varahamihira. Decimal system. So Gupta Empire is widely known as the golden age of India, and we made inroads not only in art, culture, sculptures, temples, but also in mathematics, astronomy. So Aryabhatta is a famous mathematician of his age. Varahamihira, astronomy. astronomist of his age. Kalidasa is famous for his literature. Decimal system was invented there, and concept of zero was also developed. Sangam Age was from 3rd century BC to 3rd century AD. It was Tamil literary corpus. Three Sangams or assemblies happened at Madurai. Tolkapakkiyam, the Tolkappiyam, the largest or the oldest Tamil grammar, was established during Sangam Age. Akam, love, and Puram, war. Both concepts were there in the poetry. So we had Veeras as well as the ras of war, love, which is Akam. So Akam and Puram. And three kingdoms were there, which was Cheras, also known as Vanchi or Karur, then Cholas, Uriyur was the capital, and then Kaveri Patnam, and Pandyas with Madurai as their capital. Roman trade was prevalent during this time. Pepper, cotton, and ivory were traded, and Romans gave us silver and gold. So Sangam Age was one of the, again, uh, cultural heavy, history rich age of our time, where we made inroads in South India across all sectors of human civilization, and we were one of the most advanced civilization at that point of time in the world. Three major kingdoms, Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas, with their capitals are given here, and mostly the poetry encompasses all emotions from love to war. And we need to remember the terms like Tolkappiyam, three Sangams at Madurai. Then there is Buddhist architecture. So Buddhism and Jainism are the themes across prelims. You should now UPSC is asking deep questions about Buddhism. In terms of architecture, there are stupas, famous ones being in Sanchi, Bharat, Amravati. All are UNESCO or protected sites. Then Chaitya, which is the worship hall with stupa, Vihara is monastery. Everybody knows this. We have Ajanta caves, where caves 1 to 29 are Buddhist from the Vakataka period. Now you should know when was the Vakataka kingdom established and what was the period, what was the geographical extent of it. And it built the caves 1 to 29 Buddhist caves of Ajanta. Then we have Ellora caves, where caves 1 to 12 are Buddhist, and 13 to 29 are Hindu, 30 to 34 are Jain. So Ellora caves have all the three religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism, while Ajanta has mainly Buddhism. In Nalanda, Mahavira was born. So 5th century largest Buddhist university was made in Nalanda, which was destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khalji in the medieval era. Then we have Indus Valley civilization. Well, the dates may vary. Some claim that it is from 4700 BC to 500 or 600 BC. Mostly it is from, let's say, 4000 BC to 1500 or 1700 BC. There were things like Great Bath in Mohenjo-daro, dockyard in Lothal, Gujarat, fire altars in Kalibangan, granary in Harappa, bronze statue of dancing girl in Mohenjo-daro. Script is still undeciphered, and no clear palace temple distinction, but there was citadel concept during the IVC, which was given, but it was still considered egalitarian. And then there were decline theories. So, what are the decline theories of IVC? One is Aryan invasion theory, which is outdated. There is also climate change theory, which is mainstream. So, go through these chapters in your art and culture and NCRT books, because the small nuggets like granary, dockyard, etc., these are asked consistently by UPSC across different regions, and also the extent of IVC, different sites. Mahajanapad period becomes very important because it is consistently asked by UPSC in every prelims. So one of the Mahajanapads, either they club different Mahajanapads together. 4 or 5 Mahajanapads were asked in 2025 along with rivers, if you'd remember. So at least go through the names of all the Mahajanapads, where they are located inside India, and what are the major capitals and rivers associated with them. That you should know along with the time period. Moving on, we have medieval India, where we have Bhakti, Sufism, and Vijayanagara. So Bhakti movement started in Tamil Nadu from 6 to 9 CE. Alvars were 12 Vaishnava poets. Andal and Namalwar were the famous ones of them. Nayanars were 63 Shaiva saints. Appar and Sundarar were again famous in them. So we had more Nayanars than Alvars. Alvars are Vaishnava saints and Nayanars are Shaiva saints. The northward spread of Bhakti movement happened through Ramanuja, Madhava, and Vallabha, 5 acharyas of Vaishnavism. Kabir is very famous in Bhakti movement's saint. 15th century, he uh, made famous Nirguna form of Bhakti. And Hindu-Muslim synthesis happened during this period. Bijak was another famous saint. Tulsidas wrote Ramcharitmanas. Mirabai was famous for her Krishna Bhakti. Surdas, again Krishna Bhakti. And Chaitanya, Bengal Vaishnavism, was headed by Guru Chaitanya. We have Basavana in 12th century CE in Karnataka region. He founded the Lingayat sect in Karnataka, which is one of the leading sects in today's modern Karnataka society also. We have Vachanas given by Basavanna, which is prose poems. He vouched for equality, rejected caste, untouchability, and child marriage. He set up Anubhav Mandapa, which are spiritual parliaments at Kalyana Bidar. Then there are Sharanas or followers, which were followed by uh, these followers. So these are also flagged by a few different coaching institutes for high probability. So you'd have to go through these topics, especially the Basavanna and Vachana topic for this year. Then you have Sufi orders, four main silsilas in India. Chishti, most popular Khwaja Moinuddin at Ajmer. So in Sufi orders, there were four main silsilas in India. One is Chishti, which is the most popular. In fact, Salimuddin Chishti and Qutub Minar built for a Sufi saint by Qutubuddin Aibak of the Chishti Silsila. Then we have Khwaja Moinuddin at Ajmer, Nizamuddin Auliya in Delhi, and Nasiruddin in Chirage, Delhi. Suhrawardi sect was there in Punjab and Sindh. We have Qadiriya, Naqshbandi, Orthodox sect, which was close to Mughal court. Naqshbandi becomes important because it was an Orthodox sect close to Mughal court. We also have the concept of Fana or annihilation god. Basically, you have also songs like Fana Ho Jaye. Basically, in you uh, give yourself to the god and you annihilate in him. Vijayanagara Empire, one of the most important empires in medieval India, from 1336 to 1646 AD, founded by Harihara and Bukka, aided by Vidyaranya sage. So we mainly know about Harihara and Bukka, who established the Vijayanagara Empire, but they were also aided by this sage Vidyaranya. And Hampi was its capital, which was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986. Krishnadevaraya was its most famous ruler, and Amukta Malyada in Telugu, he patronized different poets and saints who were known as Ashtadiggaj or eight poets. And there were a lot of reforms which happened in administration, as well as Nayankara system of feudal land grants for military service was also introduced during Vijayanagara Empire. So Ashtadiggaj, Nayankara system, Amukta Malyada, these terms are related to the Vijayanagara Empire. Delhi Sultanate architecture, Qutub Minar built by Qutubuddin Aibak and completed by Iltutmish. The first mosque in India was Quwwatul Islam Mosque. Alai Minar was unfinished. Alauddin Khilji was so Alai Minar. Alauddin Khilji wanted to build it to be twice of height of Qutub Minar, but it was unfinished. Siri Fort was built by Alauddin Khilji. Tughlaqabad by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and use of true arch and dome architecture was done during the Delhi Sultanate period, replacing the post beam of Hindu Buddhist. So you should know about these architectural terms of how different uh, ages of Indian architecture varied. What were the epic or zenith of different ages, and what were the specific terms which were used to describe those ages. For example, true arch and dome was used to describe the Delhi Sultanate architecture, replacing the post beam of Hindu Buddhist age. In Mughal architecture, we have Babur's Humayun tomb, first Mughal garden tomb. We have Akbar's Fatehpur Sikri, which was a blend of Hindu, Islamic, Persian, Buland Darwaza, and then Dinle Ilahi Court. Jahangir had Shalimar Bagh, Shah Jahan had Taj Mahal, Red Fort, and Jama Masjid. It was a peak of Mughal architecture during Shah Jahan. Pitra Dura, which is semi-precious stone inlay, was also used in Taj Mahal. It was a speciality of this age. Moving forward, we have the colonial history of key acts and movements. Governments of India Act. Well, you should go through all these acts. So, my point is, you should not only know when these acts come, but also 6, 7 key points in each of those acts. For example, in 1833, Macaulay's Law Commission came, abolished EIC trade monopoly. 1858, Crown Rule, Secretary of State was given, Indian Council, Governor General became Viceroy. 1861 introduced Indians to imperial and provincial councils. Portals Act was introduced. And 1892, non-official members in indirect elections were introduced. So go through all these acts. What were they called? What are the 4, 5, or 6, 7 very important points in these acts which have been asked across different PYQs in different forms and shapes? That is sine qua non. You should know it as a static. Then we have Morley Minto reforms of 1905 for separate electorates for Muslims, communal representation reduced. It enlarged legislative council, 69 non-official members in Imperial Council, and Indians as a member of Viceroy's Executive Council. Satyendra Pratap Sinha was the first in the Viceroy's Executive Council. Montagu Chelmsford reforms of 1919. Diarchy was introduced in provinces, and reserved subjects were introduced like law, finance, and police which were the lieutenant governor. And transferred subjects like education, health were given to elected ministers. Bicameral legislature, central legislature were introduced, which was Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha, and first preamble for responsible government was introduced. Franchisee was extended to 10% of the population. Government of India Act 1935, All India Federation, it never became operational as princes refused for it. Provincial autonomy, which was effective from 1937, was introduced. Congress ministries were given. And Federal Court of India, which was a predecessor of Supreme Court, was established through GOI Act of 1935. RBI provisions were made. In fact, RBI Act came in 1934. Separate Burma Act or Separate Burma was created through this. And 321, 478 sections were adopted into the 1950 Constitution. So, Government of India Act 1935 played a huge role in our Constitution. Key movements, Swadeshi movement of 1905 to 1911, Bengal partition by Curzon. So, Swadeshi movement was a result of Bengal partition by Curzon. Non-cooperation movement from 1920 to 22. There were various questions which were asked in the previous prelims. Chauri Chaura withdrawal incident, civil disobedience movement, always a UPSC favorite, 1930 Dandi March, and various other movements which happened under the umbrella of CDM. Quit India movement, again one of the UPSC's favorites, 1942 do or die slogan given by Mahatma Gandhi. And Subhash Chandra Bose formed the INA Azad Hind Fauj and Delhi Chalo Andolan. These are some of the core topics which UPSC definitely asks from one or two questions from these topics combined. Then Pune Act between Gandhiji and B.R. Ambedkar in Yerwada prison, where Supreme Court reserve constituencies, so SC reserved constituencies were provided in provincial legislatures for scheduled castes, and no separate electorate as in communal award. So we in this Pune Pact, it was decided that some constituencies will be reserved for scheduled caste, but there would be no separate electorates. Separate electorate means through communal award, it would not happen that in those electorates only people of a specific religion would be able to vote. That was not agreed upon, but reserved constituencies were agreed. 148 reserved seats was versus original 71 were given, and foundational for the current scheduled caste reservation system, Pune Pact. Let's move on. So we have UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India from 2024 and 2025. Maratha military landscapes were included in July 2025 for 47th session in New Delhi. India. So Maratha military landscape became India's 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Sites. For example, 12 forts across Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. So in Maratha military landscape, it is not just a single site. It is a combination of 12 forts which are across Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, which was included together in the 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site of India. They were listed under criteria 3 and 5, cultural significance and architectural achievement. So this is very important. Whenever you study about UNESCO World Heritage Sites, tangible, intangible heritage, you should also know that what are the criteria under which they are listed. UPSC is going into the depth of these things. So once you know that why they have been listed, what are the different criteria under which the country applies for these sites to be listed, that becomes very important. So you know that for these Maratha military landscape, we use criteria 3 and 5, culture and architecture. What are the 12 Maratha forts? Well, Salher, Shivneri. So you can go through the names here. Need to remember that 11 are in Maharashtra and one is in Tamil Nadu. Bingi is in Tamil Nadu. So they have hill, coastal, and island fort categories. All the kinds of forts are there: hill forts, coastal forts, and island forts. We have Charaideo Moidams, which is Ahom dynasty royal burial mounds in Shivasagar, Assam, which became India's 42nd World Heritage Site. So in Assam, Ahom dynasty is one of the prime dynasties, which have very rich cultural as well as architectural and warrior heritage for Assam. So their burial mounds, which are now known as Charaideo Moidams, they were included as 42nd World Heritage Site, and they are also called as Pyramids of the East. Ahoms ruled Assam for more than 600 years, 1200s to 1800s, and they resisted Mughal invasions 17 times. What is a Moidam? Moidam is a hemispherical earth mound over a burial chamber, and hence they are called the Pyramids of the East. So it is like a hemispherical earth mound over burial chamber. You can go through the images of Moidams in Shivsagar, Assam. The sacred ensembles of Hoysalas, Bellur, which has a Chanakeshava temple, then Halebedu, which has Hoysaleshwara temple, Somanathpura has Keshava temple. All are in Karnataka, and these are 12th and 13th century temples. So schist stone was used in this with intricate sculpture and star-shaped plan called stellate. So this is a Vesara style of architecture which was used in Hoysala temples of Bellur, Halebedu, and Somanathpura. Chanakeshava temple, Hoysaleshwara, and Keshava temple. So Vesara style is a mixture of Nagara and Dravida style. It has a star-shaped architecture. We have Shanti Niketan in 2023, which was Rabindranath Tagore's educational experiment, Vishwa Bharati of 1921. So Shanti Niketan and Hoysala temples were included in the World Heritage Sites in 2023. In 2024, Moidams were included. In 2025, Maratha military landscapes were included. So Vishwa Bharati has open air learning. It blends Indian traditions with modern ideas, and Tagore's national education concept originated here in Shanti Niketan. He also received a Nobel Prize in 1913 for literature for his creation of Gitanjali. India's UNESCO World Heritage Site contribution. So we have 35 cultural sites, 7 natural sites, and 1 mixed site. What is a mixed site? We have Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim, which is a mixed site of natural and cultural. So hence we have 43 total. So cultural are the most important, which is cultural are the most in number, basically 35. Natural are 7, and mixed is 1. What is the criteria? It should have outstanding universal value, and tentative list has 57 more. ICOMOS actually evaluates cultural sites, IUCN evaluates natural sites. So basically, a country makes applications for various sites through different criteria which are listed. For example, the criteria 3 and 4, which were listed here. And then there are different bodies which make decisions on those criteria. So for cultural sites, ICOMOS would be the deciding body, and for natural sites, IUCN would be the deciding body. And we have also, there are tentative lists or applications for 57 more bodies apart from the 43 which are already there. Moving forward to classical language and linguistic heritage. So we have a classical language status of 12. Originally, as of October 2024, there are 11 languages which are classified as classical languages. Originally, there were only 6, Tamil, Sanskrit, Telugu and Kannada, Malayalam and Odia. So newly added in October 2024, we have Marathi, Bengali, Pali, Prakrit and Assamese. Then what is the criteria for classical language? It should have ancient texts and literature for over 1500 2000 years. It should have a body of ancient literature recognized as valuable heritage, original literary tradition not borrowed from any other speech or community, and distinct from modern form of language. So these are the 4 very important criteria for any classical language. One should know all of these again as a part of static and conceptually. So it should be distinct, it should have an original literary tradition and body of ancient literature and ancient text and literature of 15,000, 2000 years. What are the benefits? Well, 2 international awards annually for Sahitya Academy for classical language work. So if you have a classical language status, there are 2 international awards which are given in this from Sahitya Academy. And then there is Center of Excellence for Studies of these languages, National and Central University professor. So we have professorial chairs in National and Central University for classical languages. But there is no obligation on citizens to learn these classical languages. So basically, in academic and award terms, you get a lot more exposure if any language is established or selected as a classical language. In 8th schedule, we have 22 languages. Here is the list of the languages: Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu. But classical languages are not 8th schedule languages. So there is a distinction. Pali and Prakrit, for example, are classical languages, but they are not in 8th schedule. So you should remember. So Pali and Prakrit are the only 2 languages who are currently not in the 8th schedule, but they are classical languages. UNESCO endangered languages. Well, India has about 800 language varieties. Many tribal languages are losing their speakers. Andamanese languages, for example, Bo language, large speaker Boa senior died in 2010. So language itself got extinct. So we have read about species getting extinct. Then there are languages and traditions and cultures which also go extinct. For example, Bo language of Andaman went extinct when its last speaker died in 2010. And People's Language Survey of India, done by G.N. Devi, documented 780 languages. Sahitya Academy was established in 1954 as a National Academy for Letters. There are 24 languages, all 28 8 schedule languages, plus English plus Rajasthani. And annual awards are given, plus translation prizes are also given by Sahitya Academy. We have a Bal Sahitya Puraskar, Yuva Puraskar, and Bhasha Samman for non-scheduled languages. What are the art forms and classical dances and music? There are 8 classical dances Sangeet Natak Academy recognized. Bharatnatyam from Tamil Nadu, which has Devadasi tradition, Chidambaram Nataraja temple connection, Kathak in North India, Lucknow and Jaipur Gharanas are there, Mughal court influence is there in Kathak. We have Odissi in Odisha, Jagannath temple and Maharis are there. Gopas is a tradition here. We have Kuchipudi in Andhra Pradesh village. Male performers are usually there traditionally. Manipuri, Vaishnavite tradition and Ras Leela. Mohiniyattam, which is from Kerala, luscious style. And then Kathakali, which is again from Kerala, male performers and elaborate costumes there. Satriya is an Assamese dance, which is Vaishnavite in tradition, introduced by Sankar Deva. So these dances have occurred several times in PYQs and they have specific terms associated with them. You should know about the names of the dance, what are the specific terms, what do they reflect, and some reflection of what do they depict. Like, why is this dance happening? What kind of stories from our mythology and history they are trying to depict. Carnatic music versus Hindustani music. Carnatic music in South India based on 72 Melakartha ragas, relatively fixed compositions of Kriti and Vanams. And there is trinity of Tyagaraja, Dikshitar, and Shyama Shastri, which are Holy Trinity, which made Carnatic music very famous. So it has relatively fixed compositions of Kriti and Varmans. Hindustani music, since it had a influence of many different kinds of cultures, it is a little bit more flexible and open, and you have a lot of gharanas here. So North India, Persian, Arabic influence, ragas of time specific and forms, Dhrupad, Khayal, Thumri, Dadra, Ghazal, and gharana system is also there. That's the core difference between this. Carnatic is more rigid or fixed. Hindustani has more different forms, ragas, and gharana system. Rock cut cave of Bhimbetka. Again, it is an MP and UNESCO World Heritage Site. 7,000, so 10,000 to 7,000 BCE paintings are there. These are the oldest paintings declared by World Heritage Site in 2003. Ajanta again is a UNESCO site which has Buddhist temples from 2nd BC to 5th CE. It has fresco technique of painting. Ellora has both all Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist temples from 6th to 11th CE. Kailasa temple is the most famous temple, which is the largest monolithic structure in the world. It is a marvel in itself. You should go and visit it. Temple architecture styles. Nagra in North India, curvilinear Shikhara, no Gopuram, substyles Latina. We have seen the Vesara style in Hoysala temples. So no, the Nagra style of North India has Shikhara, but no Gopuram, and substyles of Latina, Shekri, Bhumija. Then in South India, we have the Dravida style, which has Vimana Tower, prominent Gopuram, Mandapa Hall, Garbhagriha. Vesara style is hybrid of Dakkan, Badami, Chalukyas onwards. GI tags of 24-25 in crafts and arts. Banarsi Tabla of UP was given a GI tag. Pithoda painting of Gujarat tribal art. Bastar Dhokra of Chhattisgarh bell metal casting. Bhotia Dan of Uttarakhand woolen rug. So Bastar Dhokra, Bastar by name you would be able to know the Dhokra is. It is bell metal casting. So metal in Chhattisgarh because it is on Chota Nagpur plateau. You have iron ore pending there. So the bell metal casting is one of the important arts there. We have Bhotia Dan, Uttarakhand woolen rug, then Pithoda painting in Gujarat, Banarsi Tabla. You also have Manipuri black pottery, Gadhwali paintings of Uttarakhand, and Tezpur lychee. So Tezpur is in Assam. We also have the most famous lychee of the world is in Muzaffarpur, which is also given a GI tag in Bihar, and GI registered under the GI or Geographical Indication of Goods Act 1999. So it is all statutory. First GI was given to Darjeeling tea in 2004. This is very important to know. Then Nalanda University was reopened in June 2024 in Bihar, originally founded in 5th century by Kumar Gupta I of Gupta dynasty. It functioned till 1193 when Bakhtiyar Khilji destroyed it of the Delhi Sultanate. Attracted scholars from China, Xinjiang, Korea, Tibet. Modern Nalanda is international university near Rajgir, and PM Modi inaugurated it. It also so Nalanda University and its ruins were included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2016. Coming on to tribal culture, craft, and intangible heritage, we have UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of India, 14 elements. So, what are the intangible cultural heritage of India? Currently, there are 14: Vedic chanting, Raman in Uttarakhand, which is a festival, Mudiyettu in Kerala, which is an art form, a dance plus a martial art form, Chhau dance in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Kalbelia folk songs, Buddhist chanting of Ladakh, Thateras. So it is Jandiala Guru brass work. Basically, Thateras is a brass work in the Punjab region. We have Sankirtana of Manipur, Yoga, Navruz, Kumbh Mela, Durga Puja, and Garba. So Kolkata Durga Puja and Garba were recently introduced in 2021 and 2023. So in Garba in Gujarat was UNESCO inscribed in 2023, circular dance form during Navratri. We all know that. Goddess Amba. So I think This has already been asked, so not very important. Chhau dance has three styles. So in Saraikela, Jharkhand, it is a mask dance with no vocals. Mayurbhanj in Odisha, no mask. And Purulia in West Bengal has elaborate mask. So UNESCO listed with Saraikela and Purulia together in 2010. It has martial art movements plus folk and tribal elements. So Chhau dance has mask as well as no mask styles spread across Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, and also some parts of Chhattisgarh. Tribal crafts in use in 2025, we have Bastar Dhokra art, which we saw, bell metal casting, which was given a GI tag in 2025. It is a lost wax syrup Purdue technique, bell metal casting by Dhokra artisans of Bastar. Varli painting of Maharashtra, tribal and geometric paintings. Madhubani and Mithila paintings of Bihar, geometric and natural dyes are used in it. Patta Chitra of Odisha on palm leaf or cloth, and Jagannath, Lord Jagannath themes are used here. PISA Act, Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act 1996, extends Panchayati Raj institutions to fifth scheduled areas. Gram Sabha has the power over minor forest produce. And land acquisition, liquor, money lending, etc. All of this is governed by the Panchayati Raj institutions. 10 states with fifth scheduled areas. So there are 10 states which have fifth scheduled areas, and uh, for the governance of fifth scheduled areas, PISA Act was introduced in 1996, which gives most of the power to Panchayati Raj institutions, and Gram Sabha has most power here. Forest Rights Act of 2006 becomes very important for scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers. Recognition of forest rights, then recognition of individual plus community rights, and habitat rights, particularly for PVTGs. So 75 PVTGs are there in India. PYQ has been asked in this. Again, Gram Sabha is the final authority for process claim of Forest Rights Committee, Gram Sabha, District Committee, State Committee, and District Committee. So fifth schedule areas, PISA Act, Forest Rights Act, all of this is important to show that then there are special areas for the protection of tribal communities, our forests, and their rights on those forests. And most of these decisions are handed over to the people themselves through Gram Sabha and other Panchayati Raj institutions, which protect the individual as well as community rights. So you should understand these terms and these schedules of competitions as well as PISA Acts and Forest Rights Acts very conceptually to answer these questions, both in terms of art and culture, environment, or polity. Coming on to numismatics, epigraphy, and archaeology, well, these are evergreen topics. It can have high surprise factors because in some of the years they ask questions with some of these related to some of these topics. Punch marked coins in India. India's earliest coins start appearing from 600 to 300 BC, which were silver and copper coins, and they had state and banker symbols embedded on them. Northwest hordes of punch mark coins emerged from Takshila, Kashi, Magadha type coins. They were distinct from the Greek coins or Hellenistic coins. Indo-Greek coins started from 2nd century BC. It were bilingual, Greek plus Brahmi or Kharosthi language. Realistic portraiture happened first time in India. Meander I or Milinda Panha, King Milinda or Milinda Panha fame came up with gold coins. And Shakas, who were Indo-Scythians, they followed with distinct reverse designs. Coin metallurgy, we have the Kushana dinar, given by Kanishka. Then silver coins, Guptas used silver coins with reverse goddesses Lakshmi. Copper coins were used during Mauryan times. So Karshapana, they were also called. Karsh is basically copper. And hoarding of coin led to the evidence of political instability. Gupta decline phase shows fewer coins. So basically, since Gupta coins are made from silver, then gold, Kushana coins or Kanishka coins are made from gold, then Mauryan coins are made from copper. So these are valuable metals. So we also see that during times of political instability, hoarding of these coins happened. Major inscriptions, we have the Allahabad Prashasti on Samudragupta by his minister Harishena, which gives a list of conquered kingdom, and hence he is also called the Napoleon of India. We also have the Aihole inscription for Pulakeshin II of 634 CE, which mentions battles with Harsha. So Harshvardhana, we read about him in during the late ancient period. So it was a battle between Pulakeshin II and Harsha, and date of Bharata War is also mentioned in the Aihole inscription. Girnar inscription is also very famous, which talks about Rudra Daman I. First Sanskrit inscription in India is in the Girnar inscription, which was a 150 C, and it talks about Rudra Daman I. So Girnar inscription again becomes very important because it was a first Sanskrit inscription in 150 C talking about Rudra Daman I. Archaeological Survey of India was established in 1861 by Alexander Cunningham. Very important. Currently under the Ministry of Culture, it protects more than 3,600, about 3,700 monuments. And also, there was an amendment done to this act in 2010, which gives prohibited zone of 100 meters across protected monuments and 200 meters of regulated zone. Monuments Mitra scheme was also launched in 2018. So you need to remember that in the Amendment Act of 2018, any protected zone has a prohibited zone of 100 meters. Any protected monument has a prohibited zone of 100 meters for construction and 200 meters of regulated zone. Then there is a scheme called Monuments Mitra. Recent excavations in Vadnagar, Gujarat had 8 cultural layers from 800 BC to 17 CE, which shows continuous civilization on 8 cultural layers in just this location. Then we have Kiladi, Tamil Nadu, where Sangam Age settlement was found near Madurai from 300 BC. What are the challenges to Aryan invasion migration theory? Then Rakhi Gadi in Haryana, which is the latest IBC site, excavation is ongoing there. DNA analysis has suggested that IBC people were distinct from later Aryans. So basically, climate change model is now mainstream. So this is all for art and culture and history. Uh, Again, like and share this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with maximum friends which you can, so that you can also gain confidence on the preparation which you have done. Keep studying with high energy. All the best.